Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here on Very Cold Lasagna. And the opinions that I speak in this video are prior to whatever's going to happen on the Wednesday edition of AEW Dynamite and Friday's AEW Rampage. Both of these shows are prior to this Sunday's big AEW pay-per-view, All Out. So let's get into the topic of this video, which is of course AEW's big pay-per-view, the 2022 edition of All Out. And I gotta say about this show, whether it's watching through clips on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, or just reading results online, I gotta say, if you're like, you haven't watched AEW in like months or in a few weeks, like you really don't have to like pay attention to a good chunk of this show to know that this Sunday's All Out, in my personal opinion, from a filthy casual wrestling fan, that this show could possibly go down as not one of the worst, potentially the worst AEW pay-per-view in their short history. Like really. Why do I say that? Well, because looking at the build to 9 matches that could potentially be even more to that without a buy-in show yet, these 9 matches with more to come are they have no build. They have no storyline to them, most of them at least, and they don't involve any interesting like wrestlers with actual gimmicks in them. A lot of these matches are just like, oh, hey, let's have a match, or someone got injured and now we have to have an interim like replacement for them. So that's what a lot of these matches are. They're just a lot of, oh, I like you. You're a hard worker. Let's have a match together. That kind of bullshit. So that's what pretty much this edition of All Out is going to be like. At least with last year's All Out, you had an intriguing match, some intrigue with that event, with the return of CM Punk in professional wrestling since 2014. Like, how is he gonna do? And then a somewhat like decent, somewhat like lame AEW World Championship match that involved Kenny Omega and I think it was like Adam Page that faced him. I don't even remember. I don't remember. I think they. Oh yeah, and then there was MJF versus Chris Jericho, and their conclusion to their storyline. So at least you had some things going for last year's All Out. What do you even have for this year? Like, what do you even have for this event that can make you say, oh, there's some intrigue in this pay-per-view? Like, where's the interest? Where's the interest in this pay-per-view? And not the blind interest from the hardcore wrestling fans. Like, don't buy into that. Don't sell yourself short of that. And again, that's just my opinion. You're entitled to your own like interest, all right? So looking at this match card really quick, again, a lot of it is just let's have a match, or it's just thrown together really quick. So there's the AEW TBS Championship match between the defending champion Jade Cargill and Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon. And, well, Jade Cargill and her baddies have been going after Ember Moon since she made her arrival in AEW. And now it's finally coming ahead to All Out, where she's going to defend her title against Ember Moon. So who knows if she's going to have her baddies with her to interfere, cost Ember Moon the match. But I don't know. This match reeks of no interest. No interest. And that's just one of many that we're going to be talking about here. Then you had Ricky Starks going up against Powerhouse Hobbs. These two were formerly of Team Taz. But somewhere along the way, Powerhouse Hobbs turned on him when honestly it should have been the other way around. Because, well, Powerhouse Hobbs, for as uncharismatic as he is, he at least looks like a wrestler. Okay? He actually looks like a wrestler. I mean, Ricky Starks absolutely has no charisma. So these two are finally going to meet each other, and Ricky Starks is looking to avenge Powerhouse Hobbs' betrayal. But again, why should we be invested in this? There's one match that actually 2 matches that at least have some interest to them. The first one is Jungle Boy of Jurassic Express going up against Christian Cage. This happened primarily because Christian turned on Jungle Boy. I think it was back at Double or Nothing, or was it at a special AEW episode? I don't remember which one it was, but Christian at some point between Double or Nothing and All Out, he turned on Jungle Boy, and then the week after that, he brought on Luchasaurus, and everyone seemed that Christian turned Luchasaurus to the dark side, and then several weeks later, Jungle Boy came back and got paid back on Christian, and then it seemed like Jurassic Express was back together, but that was never really clear. And then Christian and Jungle Boy would cut these like scathing promos on one another, and that's when they scheduled this match. So honestly, I'm not that much of a fan of Jungle Boy, so I'm hoping Christian wins this matchup to teach him a lesson or something. So it is what it is. But there's this tag team matchup that I'm actually looking forward to. Not because of like, oh, the match is going to be great or something. That technical work right there. And that is Swerve in Our Glory, the defending tag team champions, Keith Lee and Isaiah Swerve Strickland, going up against The Acclaimed, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. Finally, they're getting the respect that they deserve. A proper tag team championship opportunity for probably the only gimmick, the only wrestlers in AEW that actually give a damn to try and have the three most important things in AEW: a backstory, a character, and a legit gimmick. Not all these flips, kicks, and other bullshit that the indie mentality represents in all professional wrestling that includes WWE and AEW. Because the Acclaimed at least try. They try in their raps. They try in the ring. They don't rely on these flips and kicks. They try to tell a story. On the mic, in the ring, what have you. So, I'm hoping that the Acclaimed, I'm hoping that Tony Khan finds it in his damn heart, his stupid ass, to give the Acclaimed a proper tag team title run. But then again, I don't expect it because he loves Keith Lee and Isaiah Swerve Strickland. That's just me. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, the Acclaimed wins the tag team championship in Chicago. Then in a matchup where people want to have that debate between pro wrestling against sports entertainment, even though they're technically the same, that is Brian Danielson, going up against Chris Jericho. Jericho's Appreciation Society has been going after Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan was like, no, I want the Lionheart Chris Jericho back. Not the one that's a sports entertainer, the one that was a pro wrestler, even though pro wrestling is sports entertainment. So another match that's basically, let's have a match together kind of thing. So that's happening at All Out. Basically a rerun of their first ever matchup on NXT on the series premiere when it was just a training show. It was when it was literally just a game show back in 2010. Like, oh my god, those days. We had the first of two 6-person tag team matchups. The first one is Wardlow and FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Hardwood going up against the TNA oldies, Jay Lethal, and who would have thought? The Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. The Motor City Machine Guns, really? Them? You brought MCMG to All Out? Doesn't AEW know it's 2022, not 2010? Like, when has the Motor City Machine Guns been relevant since 2010? Like, I guess the fact that they made Chris Sabin world champion, they tried to make him a big deal in 2013. Or was it 2012? I don't remember. But either way, when has the Motor City Machine Guns been cool? When have they been it? Since 2020? I don't know. Like, I really don't know, man. Like, this smells like TNA. This literally smells like a TNA match right here. Like, my God. Tony Khan, man, what are you doing? Why are you trying to make AEW TNA so hard? You really trying to make this like TNA 2010, man. So, I don't care for this match. I don't know what they're doing with Wardlow, though. Like, ever since the end of the MJF feud, they've just been shutting him down and down and down the card. And not building any on that momentum that he got from winning that feud over MJF. Like, absolutely nothing with Wardlow, man. Kind of feel bad for him. So, don't care for this match. All I know is that it reeks of TNA. It reeks of TNA. So, we have a casino ladder match for a future AEW championship match. As of this recording, they probably announced it on Dynamite or Rampage before the show. But as of right now, as I'm making this video, no one has been announced for this matchup yet. So, can't really comment on it. So, let's talk about this interim AEW Women's Championship match between Toni Storm, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, going up against Jamie Hayter and Hikaru Shida in a Fatal 4-Way match. And why can't we just crown a new women's champion? Why can't we just do that? Why can't we just get rid of the interim bullshit and crown a new champion? Like, we don't know when Thunder Rosa is going to come back, let alone why should she even be the women's world champion when she's absolutely sucked? She's worse than Hikaru Shida. I'm going to say it, yeah. She is the worst women's champion for AEW. She's even worse than Jade Cargill. At least Jade Cargill tries. She tries, both on the mic, in the ring. And sure, Thunder Rosa has an MMA background. But she's botchy. She is botchy in the ring. And she's a mark. She's a super mark for herself, just like Britt Baker. And I still kind of like Britt Baker, but come on, man. She's turned into a mark. But either way, this match, I don't know. It still should remain for the actual Women's Championship and not this interim bullshit. Because if you're significantly hurt, it should be like WWE. You vacate the championship and crown a new one. Not this UFC kind of bullshit. It shouldn't be like that. I don't understand it. So I honestly don't know, or honestly care, who should be the new champion. No one has been really built up as a convincing challenger to Thunder Rosa, other than, well, Britt Baker. So it's probably gonna be Britt Baker, DMD, becoming the interim champion. Maybe they build on something between her and Jamie Hayter, cause some dissension between the two. And then let's talk about this AEW Trios Championship tournament that's going on. Like, I don't know why they decided to create Trios Championships when there's already so many titles in AEW, and that includes their acquisition of Ring of Honor. And the fact that they're showcasing the Ring of Honor World Title on TV. You got too many titles, man. The World Championship, the Women's Championship, the Tag Team Championships, the TNT title, the TBS title, and then you're showcasing Ring of Honor for whatever reason when it's been dead since ages, and now you bring in the Trios title. You can only do so much on television with 2 hours that we're going to fit in the Trios title. Oh, let me mention the fact the All Atlantic Championship as well. So, where are you going to try to fit these things? Where are you going to fit them? And despite all that, they're still doing this tournament. And it's come down to, at this point, at the time I'm making it, there's a semifinal that's going to happen on Dynamite between the United Empire, that's led by Will Ospreay, a.k.a. Will Ass His Spray, has spray up his ass, going up against the Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Cucks of Suck. Great. On Dynamite, it's probably going to be the main event of Dynamite. These two flippy fucks are gonna have a massive spot orgy, and then whoever wins that spot orgy is gonna go on to create another spot orgy at All Out. And then on Rampage, you have the other bracket between the Dark Order and Best Friends. I imagine it's going to be going down to maybe the United Empire or maybe the Elite going up against Best Friends. Because when has the Dark Order ever been relevant since the unfortunate passing of Luke Harper? So, I don't know, man. Like, why is this even a thing? Why is the Trios title even a thing? Honestly, I was kind of surprised Death Triangle didn't even make it to this point. But it is what it is. I don't really care. Now, there's another match that is not even on the card yet. It might be after this recording. And that is, of course, the question, where is the AEW World Championship match? Well, if you're a filthy casual fan like me, on the recent episode of Dynamite, which was on last week, the week prior, before the go home show in Cleveland, CM Punk, the actual world champion before he lost, defended his title against the interim champion Jon Moxley to crown an undisputed AEW world champion. And you're probably thinking, why was it on like free TV rather than at the pay-per-view? Well, with all these reports swarming out, it's just like, man, like they did this so quickly. They did this so quickly. But anyway, I digress. So Jon Moxley dominates CM Punk. He squashes him like a bug. He beats him up so badly because CM Punk, he had a legitimate foot injury as soon as he won the AEW championship back at Double or Nothing. And then he had to like leave to recover from it. And then here we are 2 months later. He injures himself during that match. And Jon Moxley goes on to dominate him, win the match, become the world champion. And, well, who knows what kind of world title match we're going to get at All Out. Are we going to get a rematch between Punk and Jon Moxley? And then Punk's going to win the title back when he's not healthy? Or, I don't know, maybe he is healthy? Or is it going to be someone else? Honestly, I don't know. Like, where are they even going with this? Like, where are they even going with this world title match? And even if they have a direction, like, this whole thing is a mess. There's been a lot of mixed, conflicting stories about CM Punk causing a lot of backstage drama and threatening to quit. Not getting along with others, and that it's just how he was in WWE, a quitter. And I don't know, man. It's just like the build to this overall All Out, not as long as been disappointing, but if the reports are true, if the rumors, the little stories, backstage regarding the turmoil, the uneasiness with AEW and like the heat, like the stories about wrestlers having heat with one another, including CM Punk, Adam Page, Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, like all this uneasiness between these wrestlers. It's creating a lot of like weirdness, and that's why All Out could possibly be the worst pay-per-view for AEW yet, because it feels directionless. Everyone's reportedly fighting amongst each other. Tony Khan is not stepping up to be a leader. He's just like he is doing with the Jacksonville Jaguars and his soccer team. He's just sitting idly by, letting the chaos happen, doing absolutely nothing with it, or making it even worse, playing damage control. So, who knows what to expect at All Out? Like, personally, I'm just going to probably be complaining and criticizing it again, just like I did with the other AEW pay-per-views. But, hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. If you enjoy it, that's cool. Like, good for you. But for me, I enjoy, the three most critical things in professional wrestling, which, you can call me the old man in the clouds like they do in The Simpsons, but I still enjoy it. Stories, characters, and gimmicks. Good. And they have to be good too. So, All Out, is not doing that, and it could potentially lead to AEW having their potentially worst pay-per-view yet. So that is it for this little preview of All Out 2022. If you managed to make it to the end of this video, congratulations. Let me know your thoughts on what could potentially be the worst All Out and potentially worst AEW pay-per-view in my eyes. Or maybe you can argue why it's not that way, or maybe it could be one of the best for AEW, or maybe a middle of the road for them in the comments below. I would love to know your take on All Out 2022 going into the pay-per-view. And again, this is just on paper, my thoughts on it. But anyway, that is it for me, DylanLasagna, signing out of Very Cold Lasagna. And until next time, peace out.